In the day and age of humanoid robotics, Tesla full self-driving, Grok artificial intelligence, and robotaxi, we often think of Tesla as a future-facing company. But what if I told you that in their newest model, they've gone completely old school? In fact, Tesla has gone back in time over a decade and brought back a similar model and specs that we haven't seen for a very long time. And in this video, I'm going to show you all about it. It's back in 2014, and the top songs on the radio are Happy by Pharrell Williams and Dark Horse by Katy Perry. And of course, in every shopping mall, we hear the sultry sounds of John Legend singing All of Me. Of course, I'm not going to sing a sample, but I am going to show you the 2014 Model S that we have here. And behind it is the brand new 2026 Model Y Standard. And I'm going to show you here right now why that Model Y is the reincarnation of the 2014 Model S. You see, back in 2014, Tesla had been producing the Model S for about 2 years, and they were putting, the tweaks and improvements and iterations and that sort of thing. But what's really important about the 2014 is that this vehicle here is one of the last examples of a Tesla before they plunged into vehicle autonomy. Of course, the Model Y is equipped with cameras and sensors and whatnot all over it, but this vehicle here has none. And I'm going to get into why this Model Y is the reincarnation of a 2014 Model S. So this vehicle here is the Model S85, which is the longest range vehicle that was available at the time. But back in the day, Tesla used to designate the vehicle's battery pack size as sort of the trim level of the vehicle, and so this vehicle has the little 85 on the back corner, but nowadays we would just refer to it as a long range. Now, what I want to show you are some of the features that actually have transcended time and moved into 2026 in the Model Y Standard. What's interesting is that this was the longest available model in the trim line, but also this Model Y Standard is also the longest available range that you can get in a Model Y package. Of course, that's due to, super aerodynamic wheels, a good sized battery pack, and very efficient single motor on the rear end. So that's really kind of a cool similarity in that they're both single rear wheel motor. They're both the longest range available in that particular form factor. And let's talk about the rear of the vehicle. So come on around with me here. We will notice on the Model S, of course, everyone knows that the Model S is a hatchback vehicle, and we have a power rear hatch. So we got the button up on the top here, and we've got a big cargo area underneath here. Now we've got a mat in here, but underneath you can see we've got storage where your fuel tank normally would have been. And over on the Model Y, we have something very similar. So check this out. We have same idea in the same spot, the handle, a power rear hatch. So we have a hatchback, and check it out. Once again, we have storage, we got some gear in there, but that's where your fuel tank would be on a traditional gas car. So two very similar kind of designs. We have two hatchback vehicles. The rear seats fold flat in both vehicles as well. And up on the tailgate, same spot, we have that power rear hatch. So even on a standard edition vehicle, Tesla is still equipping a luxury feature like a power rear hatch. They could have easily cheaped out and gone with hydraulic gas shocks like a lot of the other domestic automakers, and frankly, a lot of imports as well. They would just go to something where you just slam it shut and away you go, but they didn't. They went with power. So let's go back over to the Model S. We'll close it up here. Now, one thing you're going to look at right now is the fact that this does not have a see-through transparent roof. This is a solid roof. So take a look inside here. If you duck down and kind of look up, you'll see that that roof is solid. There is no way to see through that roof. Now let's go over to the Model Y. Check this out, guys. Now, once again, I'll quickly show you, we got tinted windows on here. So that's kind of a nice feature. Very important here in Texas, but if you kind of duck down and look up there, you're going to see the same thing. We have a solid roof. So a headliner in both vehicles, no clear glass, no opening sunroof. It's kind of another similarity that we have here. Now on this vehicle here, this one has some aftermarket wheels, but the overall wheel size is the same. This is a 19-inch wheel, but traditionally the Model S came with a 21-inch wheel. It's just kind of bigger, sportier, really kind of a cool look, a little bit nicer. But they stuck the smallest sort of entry-level wheels on this particular vehicle, and the same idea here. Now this is an 18-inch wheel, aerodynamic design of course, and the aero cap, but again, not a huge 21-inch wheel or 20-inch wheel like you have in some of the more premium models, so kind of another similarity there. Now if you come on around to the front, we're going to kind of point out a few features that may not immediately jump out at you. So on the Model S, these headlights here are kind of more of a traditional type headlight. They're not the super duper high-tech matrix headlights that you see on the newer vehicles, obviously because that technology had been pioneered a little bit later on, but they're not even, you know, kind of a super duper, you know, kind of technology forward headlight. They're kind of a standard headlight. In fact, we had to replace one of the headlight bulbs, and you know, $100, whatever, just pop a new bulb in. It wasn't like $3 grand for the whole housing type of thing. So a little bit simpler. And we have a similar idea in the Model Y standard. We do not have those matrix headlights. We've just got kind of the regular headlights. No light bar, of course, on the 2014. We didn't have a light bar either. So kind of some other little similarities. Now what they did do, and again, which I was surprised, this thing's supposed to be standard and stripped down, but they did go ahead and pop in a front-facing camera right in the bottom of the bumper. So, you know, it's kind of a nice feature, something that you would normally see in a luxury vehicle. They went ahead and popped it in the Model Y standard, so that's kind of cool. Well, let's take a look at the interior. Now, before we get into the Model Y interior, I want to take you over to the Model S. Back in time, guys, and this is where I had some deja vu. I got inside the Model Y standard from being in this Model S, and I'm like, I feel like I've been here before. This is identical. Check this out, guys. Look at these seats. Come around here, and you'll see that we've got the vegan leather bolsters here on the sides. We've got the textile cloth seat bottom, seat back carries up all the way, and then the vegan leather headrest. Very, very nice. Now, let's go on over to the Model Y standard, and let's see what we got. So again, 2014, 2026. Look at this, guys. It's the same thing. We have the vegan leather bolsters on the bottom. On the sides here, vegan leather bolsters on the side, the textile cloth on the seat bottom, textile on the seat back, and wouldn't you know it, vegan leather on the headrest. Wow, this is like mind-blowing that they literally brought the same thing back. But let's go and check one more thing here. This one's a big one because anybody that's followed Tesla for any amount of time remembers the OG yacht console from the Model S. And it was kind of really unique because back in the day, gas cars always had some sort of console in the middle because they had to have that hump for the transmission, for the driveline to send power back to the rear wheels. But when the Model S came out, it was like nothing because you just have a flat battery pack. And so they were able to really accentuate that by having this big open, what they call the yacht console in the front. So check this out, guys. You can see here that now this has a little silicone inlay, but zoom in on that. There you go. You can see that that is all open and there is no console carrying across. Look where those cup holders are too, with the little leather armrest there. Take note of that because we are going to go back to the future here, guys. Where's Marty McFly when you need him? We're going back to the future. Check this out. Oh my gosh. We have a yacht console. Yeah, baby. Look at that. Look at those cup holders with the, look at that, vegan leather armrest, cup holders up top. Absolutely identical. Like, okay, a few tweaks, sure, but they brought it back in the Model Y standard. This is so, so cool. So let's talk about one more similarity. Let's go back in time to the 2014 and point out the fact that this vehicle here, if we take a look in the back seat, we will see that there's no screen in the back of this vehicle. There's just air vents coming out of that center unit there. And we have no heated seats in the back on this vehicle. The other thing we don't have is, while we do have heated seats in the front, we do not have cooled seats in this 2014 Model S. So let's fast forward. Here we go. 2014, again, 12 years ahead. Here we go. Model Y standard. Let's open the back door. Let's see what we got. Oh my gosh, wouldn't you know it? Look at that. No screen, and we've got the vents coming into the back, and we have another rear seat. Looks just the same with the cloth and the vegan textiles and so on and so forth, but no heated seats in the back, just like the 2014 S. And up front, guys, we do have heated seats, but we don't have cooled seats. So many similarities. I don't know, what is that? What are we at, like a dozen? We gotta be over a dozen. But let me talk to you now seriously. Here's where some of the major differentiation comes into play. So we've been talking about a vehicle from 2014 that back then, 12 years ago, this vehicle cost about $82,000. And you'd say, oh my gosh, that's wild for that. But you fast forward to 2026 and you can buy this package for $39,900. So from 82 grand to 39.9, you're getting basically a very similar vehicle. This has a little higher ride height, but let's talk about the experience for a second. Let's talk about what's important in an EV, okay? So let's talk about it. What's important when you're buying an electric vehicle? So we have a 2014 Model S. That thing started around $82,000, but we have a brand new 2026 Model Y, and this thing's starting under 40, 39.9. So what's important? You would say, well, range is important. Okay, so let's talk about range. Because back in the day, that was the longest range EV, I'm pretty sure you could buy, but definitely the longest range Tesla. And there's actually over 55 miles more range in this 2026. That's crazy. So you have a vehicle that's 82 grand over here in 2014 money, which I'm sure is probably well over 100 now. Now in 2026 money, 39.9, and you're getting over 55 miles more range. Pretty wild. Now, let's talk about another thing that's important in an EV, which is charging performance. So the top line charging performance on a supercharger on this vehicle here, Grok told me was about 120 kilowatts. I've seen 129, maybe kissing 130, so they've made some improvements over time. But this guy here will pull 240, no problem at all. No worries at all. In fact, you just plug it in V3, V4, and it just rips. So you have almost double the charging performance peak, of course, on a supercharger with this newer vehicle 2026 versus the OG 2024. And then let's just talk about level 2 charging for a second. This guy here is going to pull about 40 amps-ish, roughly, peak on a level 2 charger. Now, there was a dual charger available back in the day, but that was pretty expensive, several $1,000s. And this guy here right out of the box, 48 amps. 48 amps, I think that's about 11 kilowatts. So that's solid level 2 charging performance. So let's go over it. Overall, you've got a vehicle here that is 12 years newer. It's a hatchback, it's a 5-seater. This is also hatchback 5-seater. Solid roof, smaller aerodynamic wheels, longest range in its class, but bigger charging performance, front-facing cameras. We haven't even talked about the fact that this has zero autonomy. Now, here's another similarity, is that out of the box, from the factory, there is no autonomy in this vehicle either. There is none in this vehicle, but there isn't the capability in this vehicle versus this one here. You can turn it on for 99 bucks a month and get yourself full self-driving. For $99 a month, you're not going to get anything with this car because as far as autonomy is concerned, it never will be. And if you want to take a road trip in either vehicle, this one here, you got to stay alert. You got to watch the road. You've got basic cruise control that'll just set your speed. But if you're not watching, you're going to wham right into the back of the guy hitting the brakes in front of you versus this vehicle here will automatically brake. It'll step in. You've got all the newest, latest, greatest safety features, including things like, front-facing camera, all the latest in technology, of course, massive improvements that have been made to safety, performance, charging over the course of the 12 years. And you'd say, well, then it should be roughly like the same price, maybe more, because you're kind of getting more than what was in this vehicle here. But what's crazy is that this is 82 grand 2014 money, 39.9 in 2026 money. You tell me, guys, is this really a standard? But I can tell you that Tesla has done an incredible job going into the past, bringing these features forward, and giving us a product that is actually fully stacked, especially when you can look back. So when in doubt, of course, we zoom out. And then we realize, hey, you know what? For people that have been kind of ripping on this, oh, it doesn't have cooled seats, blah, blah, blah. You know what? This thing's a crazy deal. it's a phenomenal value. I hope you found this vehicle interesting. Of course, we're diving into Tesla's past. Watch for more videos coming to the channel on the OG 2014 Model S and the 2026 Model Y Standard and a few other models. We got some exciting stuff coming down. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. Just hit the link below, follow along. Josh West 24/7 channel is just starting to take off. But for now, we'll see you in the next video.